Okay, good morning and welcome to another edition of Iyun Benzion, part of the greater Yeshiva YouTube, a special Chol Hamoed edition. Sadi Teramid B is 99b talks about concept really, which is discussed in the Masechus Bava Metzia about Ona, right? There's a din in the Torah of Ona. You can't charge someone too much or too little. You can't rip off according to the Torah. Ripping someone off according to the Torah, the sale is null and void. Now, there's a different price range. Like if I go to different supermarkets, I'll get different prices. However, the Torah basically said, for the same bottle of Kedem grape juice, whatever the average price is. So if you buy it or sell it for 1/6 that value, up to 1/6 that value, 1/6 less or 1/6 more, that's not ono. More than 1/6 or less than 1/6, that's called ripping someone off. The sale is batal. That only applies to metaltalin. However, by karkos, the Mishnah says there's no null karkos, right? If a field is listed or normally sold in Telstone, house is normally sold for 2 million shekel, and someone sells it for 3 million shekel, he buys it for 3 million shekel, there's no, the sale is valid. Another karkos. The Gemara here says it's only talking about the balabayas. If I'm the owner of the house, I sold it for 3 million, and he agreed to it. So the sale is, but if I appoint an agent, and the agent would undersell it, he would sell it for $1 million, right? If I sell it myself for $1 million, worth $2 million, so 2 million shekel. It's worth 2 million shekel. I sold it personally. I own that apartment. I sold it for 1 million shekel. In that case, there's no. However, the shliach, the Gemara says, I made you a shliach to help me. You made my real estate agent to help me. You're screwing me over. You're messing me up over here. I'm getting ripped off, right? So the sale is null and void. Now the sale is null and void. Why is the sale null and void? So the way the article explains, which I think is the correct way of explaining, is that, like the Gemara says, I made him a shliach to sell. The real estate agent is not me. He's an extension of me, right? There's a famous chakira, the famous way of understanding, two distinct ways of understanding how shlichus works. There's the pshat in shlichus is that I'm maman and my shliach, I make a shliach, I appoint an agent, and he acts on his own accord. Whereas the point that basically the shliach is gada arichta, the shliach is continually under my influence, and he's just acting on my behalf. He's like, I'm transporting myself to the office where we're signing the deal, even though I'm not there. The real estate agent is finalizing the deal for me, but it's like I'm there, right? It's like a chalos in the shliach. It's not just a ma'isa shliach, it's chalos in the shliach, that I'm actually transporting myself into the body of the shliach. So if that's the case, so I wouldn't have made such a deal. I never made such a deal. If you say that it's the ma'isa shlichus, right? A shlichus is a ma'isa shlichus. He's acting on his own accord. So I gave him that authority to act on his own accord. But if he's really me, and I would never want such a thing, so therefore it's like a mekav tos, right? I sell something, and a golden cup. I didn't know it was gold. I thought it was silver, and it was really gold. So it's mekav tos because I didn't know something. So the same, the shliach is acting on me. I didn't ever wanted to sell such a thing. He's doing it by himself, but I don't want to do it. I'm here. I don't want to do it. It's a tos, so therefore it's null and void the sale. So this gets into the question of why is it that there's no ono by karkos, right? I always like to explain why, even though I've told many times in yeshiva that in yeshivas we determine what. We don't ask the question why. We never ask why. We only ask what. I think Rav Chanan Wasserman said that at one point. Now, if you're a Shimon Shkop, right, Dorish time with the Kra, like Rav Shimon in the Gemara, right, Rachai was Dorish time with the Kra, Machlokas, Dorish time with the Kra, not Dorish time with the Kra. There's halakhic significance to that, right? Can you take a mashkon? Can take a mashkon from an ani or a ashira, right? If she's poor, you can't take a mashkon. A rich person, you could take a mashkon. Shimon says, right? You can take more than 18 wives if it's not going to be Meiser Levava. Whatever, Rav Shimon, in a couple places in the Gemara, says if the reason doesn't apply, the halacha doesn't apply. Now, we don't paskin like Rav Shimon, we paskin no darshin at the time of the crop. But that's when it comes to darshin time of the crop, because we don't know, as I mentioned many times, pardes, right? Pshat, remez, drasod. The truth of the Torah is a sod, is a secret. Always the truth of anything is a secret. We don't know the secret right now. We darshan, exegesis, basically a lower form of hinting, right? We're not really sure. Esrog is this citron fruit. Is it really an esrog, a citron fruit? That's what Hashem wanted? I don't think so. But that's a drash, and that's all we know right now. So we do that. We go for the chazonish esrogim that are miyuchas, right? Not a morkav. It can't be a lemon. It has to be a citron fruit. Best citrons. They're so delicious. Esrog jelly. We don't know the reason. So when it comes to drasha, but I'm giving you the sod. I'm giving you the sod. And sod, of course, you have to know the reason, because sod has to make sense, and the secret has to make sense. So I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm 100% right. You can tell me what you think, if I'm right or not. But I am involved with sod over here, so therefore it's very relevant. Why? Even the Rabbanan would agree, right? Sod, yesh time with the kra. The sod yesh time with the kra. Darshkina time with the kra. No. Sod time with the kra. Yes. So, onal karkos. Why did the Torah say, the Mishnah Bamitzia says no onal karkos? The Gemara derives it of a klal product klal by karkos. There is no such thing as onal. The reason is that I would think, before I started over here, I would think the reason by karkos, by real estate, is that the price fluctuates so much, it goes up so quickly. I'm sorry, no. I would say the first way I would say is because real estate means something different to everybody, right? There's location, there's convenience. So you can't say I overcharge, I undercharge for a property, because property means a lot to different people. If you're going to tell me a tomato means a lot to different people, I would say not really. I mean, tomato tastes like a tomato no matter who's eating the tomato, whether you're a poor person or a rich person. But property, right, location is so important. So property, even if I overcharge, it's a fair deal. The Torah wanted to get rid of people ripping other people off. It's not fair to rip people off. Yashar B'Tov, we see like Yashar B'Tov, do fair business dealings with other people. It's not fair to overcharge by a sixth for a tomato. However, to charge a piece of real estate, to overcharge, for someone is really worth it to be in Schneller. And Schneller, it's really close to Gula. You want to be Malkei Israel, you want that apartment over there. So even though they overcharge, I'm sure, a lot, because of the location, it's worth it. But that, I don't think, is the correct explanation over here, because then you can't say the shliach, I wanted you to, because he didn't mess it up for you, right? It's a realistic sale. He can say it. Maybe you would have wanted to do that, right? The person really, right? I undercharged for it because it's in a bad location. However, if the pshat by eno nala karkos is because the price of real estate, it's not because it's different for different people. It's because it changes so quickly and so drastically. Real estate can really go up. That's why so many people are in the real estate business. You can flip properties and turn a huge profit. So therefore, it's constantly appreciating in value, or sometimes it depreciates in a value, but it moves very quickly, the price. So metalchlin don't, unless you have Lieberman here in the in the government here in Israel, where he just, triples the price of plastic forks. So then, then it's unusual, but then it can happen. But it's unusual that it goes up so quickly. But real estate goes up very quickly, or it depreciates very quickly, and therefore, since it changes so quickly, the Torah says you can't say it's not fair. So therefore, when I send the shliach over here, so then I really have a taina that's going to shadarte avusi, because, right, I don't want to make that sale, right? I don't want to pull the trigger when it's depreciating so much, or you're selling it at depreciated value, or you're selling it, or the person who buys it saying, right? Well, I was talking about over here where you undersell it. The shliach undersells it for you. I don't want to pull the trigger on a depreciated price. I want to wait till it goes back up. So if I could have got the better price, right, the price that I wanted, I would have taken it. But you ruined it for me. So then you can move out to the shlichas. However, if the pshat is that ain't no the karkos, is that that the price for land is dependent on convenience. Different prices for different people. So then the shliach can say, I didn't do anything wrong for you, right? I undercharged him because he felt it wasn't convenient for him. So you sent me up as an agent to do that. So that's in my jurisdiction to do that, because there's likelihood you wanted to do it. But if another karkos is definitive, definitive boundaries, the another karkos, because it appreciates or depreciates. So I don't want to sell a depreciated value. I didn't set you up to do that. To think about it's a little more, it's a little complicated, but hopefully we'll discuss it more in Bambatzia. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.